Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Neha. Thank you, Hindi team. Now we are moving to English session. We have already completed 1903 days. Today is our 1904th day. Before beginning the session, we'll have a silent prayer. Good evening and welcome everyone. Today is our 1904th day. Today, I am so happy and honored to introduce Sahani sir. He is all in all of our IFPH webinar and all in all of homeopathy even. He who leads us, support us and inspire us in every steps. Really your support and your participation, that makes us mission strong. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. And he is the former CCH member and chairman. He's the scientific committee chairman of IFPH. I'm welcoming you, sir. You're welcome. Please.
Good evening and good morning to all. Dr. Anjali, I think you are the moderator today.
Yes,
and,
yes.
This is for the first time you are.
Yeah, that's what I told. I am so honored. Honored to introduce you.
It is great. I have been assigned a topic that is reframing the climatic changes. Okay. Now, this is very important topic. That can we reframe? Can we change the climatic changes? It is possible with us or not? Then our geological situations are different everywhere. It is not the same at one place. In India, you see the one type. At another place, you see the another type. So my topic is that reframing the climatic changes and reintegrating human welfare and the role of homeopathy in building the substantial and resilient future. This is very important because we are witnessing the geographical calamities. There are natural calamities, there are human man-made calamities, war and every situations are there. And besides that, there are the climate is also the. And nowadays we see the climatic changes everywhere. So let us have an insight into this topic of this topic and how we can, how our homeopathy will be useful in building the substantial and resilient future. Now, global warming it is not a predictive; it is a happening. Now, what we see, the climate, the weather, and the summer coming, winter going, and this year it has been predicted that in Patna, like at our place, there will be more colder. And last year it was not so cold, and it is predicted, but I don't know whether it will be the more cold or not. But it is the situations that we are never certain about the climatic conditions, and sudden rain, sudden heat, and all these things are very important. That is happening everywhere. Now, my topic is that I am going to discuss today. That is the why I chose this subject. This is context for my presentations. That is after the introduction, then historical perspective. That is from environmental awareness to the human-centric climatic actions. Then climate changes and human welfare, rethinking priorities. And homeopathy in the era of climatic changes is substantial medical paradigm, and bridging the gap, policy, practice, and integrations, and measuring the true climatic progress, the human-centric paradigm, and then conclusion. So with these things, I start with the this is the summary of my presentations, exploring the substantial solutions such as clean energy, resilient agriculture, and a strengthened public and health system, and that will improve or change our quality and reduce the emissions. It is further highlighted the potential and importance of homeopathy as an adaptive, substantial, and holistic system of the medicines. And through the historical reflections, modern implications, and integration strategy, we are going to measure the things today. Friends, the 21st century stands at the crossroad where human advancement and planetary survival must coexist. This is our desire. We want that it should be there. But what is the condition? Go to the heaven for the climate, hell for the company. It is possible that urbanizations, industrializations, and all these things are there. Can we find a heaven on this earth? Heaven on this earth? So this is the for now it is predicted that only in the heaven there will be the stable climate, but for the earth the climate is like that. It is different. For decades, climate discussions have focused on metric degree, global warming, tons of carbon emissions, and parts of million of greenhouse gases. Yet beyond these statistic lies a more profound questions. What do these numbers mean for the human life? Are families capable of producing food despite the drought? Do people have access to reliable, substantial health care when climate disasters strike? And then traditional climate actions framework through scientifically grounded, often neglected, and human dimensions. Now, a focus on the carbon reductions alone risk overlooking the interconnectedness between the environment and integrating and the human health. Are communities thriving or merely surviving? Are we developing or we are thriving? This is the biggest questions that we have in our mind. Uh, and this reorientation demands that climate solution not only mitigate emissions but also enhance the human welfare. It requires us to invest in area that creates immediate improvement, such as affordable clean energy, resilient crops, and robust health system, which while securing the long-term substantiality of the planet. And the true climate progress must ensure that humanity can live healthier, more resilient, and equitable lives on warming of the planet. Or as the system is rooted in the natural law and holistic understanding, homeopathy offers a substantial, low resources medical solutions that align perfectly with the ideal of ecology balance and human resilience. By integrating homeopathic principle in the public health and the climate adaptations policy, society can enhance both environmental stewardship and well-being of the individual. In the broader human-centric framework, homeopathy emerges as a significant contributor. Wow, how? And why I selected this topic. I was going through the Bill Gates message that is of the 28th October on 25. That it was in the context of his world leaders will gather in Brazil for COP, the UN annual climate summit, to see it an opportunity to reframe how we think about the climatic change. So now in Brazil, there is going to be a annual climatic summit, and there it will be discussed how to think about the climatic, both problem and trying to solve the solution that will help us together. And for decades, the human world has measured climatic progress in degree of warming and tons of the carbon. Is it only the carbon or it is only the warming? So this needs to be understood now. Those are the important number, but they don't tell us anything about the quality of people's life. Are families able to grow enough food? Are communities healthy? Does everyone have access to reliable energy? These are the biggest questions that is related not with the climate, only with the global warming. So this is the Bill Gates message. Our ultimate goal should be improving human welfare and making sure people everywhere can live healthy, productive, live on a warming planet. That means investing in solutions that makes life better today and cut emissions for tomorrow. Affordable, clean energy, resilient crops, and a stronger health system. It also means rethinking how we spend limited resources, directing them towards the things that we have most impact per dollar and away from those that don't, that are not there. So with this Bill Gates message, I tried to think about how we homeopath can contribute on this topic of this global warming. Will it be possible for us to represent in the globe in the conference, or will this voice will reach there? So this is the biggest questions that I have for everyone. Now, in the historical perspective, we can see the environment awareness to human-centric climate actions. The early environmental movements were there. Industrial revolutions. It starts with the industrial revolution. Before the industrial revolutions, there was not so much difficulty. But with the industrial revolution, while bringing prosperity, initiated an age of resources exploitations and environmental degradations. The late 20th century witnessed growing awareness through movements such as Earth Day and the Stockholm Conference in 72. There is awareness has been created, but this needs more focusing on the topic. The focus was predominantly on pollution control and resources of the conservation, conversation. So what is the missing point? Missing point. From environmental aware, the human-centric, how we as a human beings are missing. While global temperature and carbon targets dominated the discourses, the social and health impact of the climate change remained unemphasized. Rising sea level, droughts, floods, and extreme weather disappropriately affected the poorest and most vulnerable populations, those least responsible for the emissions. This disconnect between the scientific goal and human experience necessitated a paradigm shift. The concept of climate justice emerged, recognizing that the right to the healthy environment is inseparable from right to the health, food, and security. So both right for the healthy environment, this is our right, and this has to be associated with our right for the health, food, and the security and the educations both. So climatic justice is required, and there is a requirement for integrating the health into the climate policy. Because this, when we think about the climate policy, we only think about the global warming and other matters, not related to the human health. But health is the greatest thing that used to be affected by all these things. So it must be incorporated, it must be integrated with the climatic senses. Over time, public health experts began recognizing climate changes as the greatest global health threats of the 21st century. WHO and UN agency highlighted link between climate stress and disease outbreak, malaria, dengue, cholera, respiratory disorder, and mental health crisis. However, healthcare system remained heavily carbon intensive and medicine dependent, lacking substantial model. This is where traditional and holistic medicines like homeopathy offers a new pathway by aligning medical practice with the ecological responsibility. So this is the area where health, when we think about the health and integrating, we have to think about the holistic system of medicines like homeopathy. We could have saved the earth, but we were too demand cheap. Now the saving of the earth is possible, but what is the hindrance? What is the cause that is preventing us? It is only that we are not thinking about it. Now, climate change and the human welfare, rethinking the priorities beyond carbon, measuring what truly matters. Carbon changes indicators such as degree of warming are vital, yet they are abstract for most people. A farmer in the drought-prone Bihar or a mother in the flood hit in Bangladesh more relate more to crop failure, hunger, and disease than to the parts per million of the carbon. Therefore, human-centric metrics, nutrition level, disease prevalence, energy access, and livelihood security must guide the climate policy. So, drought prone to the crop failure hunger. This is the important need that we have to think beyond that. Food and security and agriculture resilience. Now, climate variability directly impact on our agricultural and erratic rainfall, pest invasion, and soil degradation. Promoting, promoting resilient crop varieties, organic farming, and substantial pest management can enhance both productivity and ecological health. In this regard, homeopathic agriculture, the use of potentized natural medicines to improve soil vitality and plant immunity, offers a substantial approach. Remedies such as Silesia, Netramuriticum, and sulfur are being explored to enhance crop resistance against the pest and the environment. So experiments are going on. There are many researchers in the homeopathy, and the new area has emerged as the homeopathic agriculture. We have the veterinary homeopathy and now the homeopathic agriculture. Since long I had been watching this phenomena being handled with the homeopathy, and lot of the improvement are being it has been reported. I recall the contributions of Dr. Sukul from the Nehati in West Bengal. He was a great scientist who looked into the homeopathic agriculture, and where he showed the way crops can be, or he was a good researcher, and he made a good experiments, and he proved that the homeopathic medicines, when given into the soil of the farms, the growth part becomes more and more better. Health security and disease resilient, homeopathy with individualized and preventive approach. This is the wonderful things that we have. And this is the greatest armatorium with us to prevent the health. Because we see the every patient as a different system, different persons. Every new patient we undertake, we find ourselves to be entering into the new world. And this is not that each one are responding in a different way for the changes, climatic changes pattern, disease burden, heat-related illness, vector-borne disease, and respiratory disorders due to the pollutions. All these are being affected differently by the different persons. And strengthening and preventing and integrating health system becomes the crucial. Homeopathy with the individualized and preventive approach offers valuable tools. Now there are the prophylactics also. We have while we are treating, we also have the prophylactics. That means the preventive medicines. So during epidemics, cholera, influenza, and dengue, homeopathic prophylactics have historically demonstrated the efficacy, as recorded in the cholera epidemic in 19th century Europe and Spanish flu in 1918. And recently, we have seen that COVID, the arsenicum album, that also become more popular in the COVID era. Furthermore, homeopathic remedies addresses psychological distress and emotional trauma also, which are significant yet under recognized outcome for the climate discharge. Remedies like Ignatia, arsenicum, aconite, naps help restore mental equilibrium after the shock, fear, and the loss. And energy and equity, empowering home health care center and communication system. Now, homeopathy have the reach in the villages. Homeopaths have the reach to the common people because they are human friendly. And as a homeopath, we all we spend lot of time with the patient, taking the case history, providing the emotional, thinking about the emotional values of the patients, the sufferings of the patients, and it has a remedial effect during the case taking itself. So this can boost the access to reliable energy in a determined and modern welfare, powering home healthcare center and communication system. Transitioning to affordable clean energy ensure not just emission reductions, but also the social empowerment. What is there? Can we reduce the clean, have a affordable clean air? No, it is not possible. But how to get adjusted with the situation is very much important. Similarly, healthcare must transition toward the health light system. Homeopathy requires minimal manufacturing energy, use natural raw materials into the in micro quantities and generate negligible pharmaceutical waste, offering a model of low carbon medical care. Then we are uh, homeopathy in the era of the climatic change. Now I'm going to discuss the substantial medical paradigm. Homeopathic, which was founded by Dr. Hahnemann, is based on the principle of deeply aligned with the ecological thoughts. Its doctrine of similia similibus curantur recognizes the interconnectedness between living beings and their environment. And the system promotes dynamic balance, restoring harmony between the internal and external world. In the time when climatic change disrupts the balance, homeopathy serves as a bridge between the human health, and natural order. So, friends, there is how we can have a harmony with the nature. Harmony of the nature is possible only with the homeopathic system of the medicines because we work on the simillimum. We work in association with we work in a natural. We follow the nature changes, and that is the greatest strength for the homeopathy to for surviving and supporting the human life. And low ecological footprint. It requires minimal natural resources for preparations, produces negligible chemical waste, can be stored without refrigeration, reducing energy consumptions, are safe for water system and ecosystem. So this homeopathic remedy is more better for the storage system also. Thus, homeopathic represent a climate-friendly healthcare model, substantial, scalable, and accessible. Uh, Now, resilience in disaster hit area where healthcare infrastructure collapses, homeopathy provides portable, uh, cost-effective, and self-stable remedy. It is particularly effective in addressing post-traumatic mental and physical symptoms among the displaced person. And the case example includes the use of arsenicum album during the COVID-19 pandemic as a preventive, and application of camphor and carbovage in flood of hypothermia-related conditions, and China officials for exhausting and dehydrations during the heat waves. And then emotional and psychological adaptations, climatic anxiety, eco grief, and post-disaster trauma represents the psychological phase of the climatic change. Homeopathy addresses the mind-body continuum, provides individualized care for stress-related conditions. Our medicines like Netramureticum, phosphorus, pulsatilla are frequently indicated for loss, hopelessness, and emotional sensitivity. Now, bridging the gap, the policy integrations and policy practice integrations. Health policy preparedness, policy must integrate the climatic resilience and holistic care. This includes training practitioners in eco-sensitive medicines, incorporating homeopathy into the national disaster preparedness framework, and encouraging community-based wellness program that blend traditions and modern care. Then research and evidence building, it is required for us, homeopathy, to climate-linked health must be supported by rigorous research, clinical trials, case documentations, and field data. Institutes like CCRH, Central Council for Research in Homeopathy in India, are already leading initiative in this direction. Practitioners at the individual level needs incorporations of climate-linked clinical activities to bring substantial changes in the practice. It is not the only duty of the CCRH or the government body. We as individual practitioners must have look into this matter. We as our process of homeopathic case taking, our process of repertorization, it is completely a research work, research phenomena. And we can utilize these things for integrating the and providing the evidences. We can upload our findings on the CCRH website. They have created a big data bank system, and where it can be analyzed for the future propagations. Then global collaborations integrating homeopathy within the within WHO's One Health framework, which recognize the connections between human, animal, and environmental health. World health would strengthen substantial health care globally. WHO has already recognized homeopathy, but it should emphasize on the One Health framework also, so that the connections between the human, animal, and environment can become more accessible for the situations. Now, measuring the true climate, the true future redefines climate success not by carbon future, but alone by the carbon quality of the life indicator. That is health and longevity, food and water security, mental well-being, and equitable access to health care and clean energy. Every dollar invested should yield maximum impact on human and ecological resilience. Policy should prioritize solutions that addresses immediate human need while reducing long-term environmental burden. Homeopathy, by its very nature, fulfills these dual criteria, offering immediate relief and long-term balance, both at the individual and at the planetary level. So the key aspects are the focusing human-centric issue, the health, framing climate changes such as health issues can be made its impact more immediate and easier for people to understand and act upon as it connects to personal well-being, security, shifting to the focus from the national security issue to a planetary security issue requires policy that focus on adaptations and mitigations in a global context. And justice. It requires addressing the blind support in current policy by including marginalized actors and their knowledge in decision-making process. Changing then planetary to human problem. And the perspective argues that focusing on saving the earth is less effective that focus on the how climate changes threaten, but we have to think about the human problems also. Connecting in daily life, and that highlighting how individual choice and consumption pattern have environmental consequence can encourage personal responsibility and changes. And inspiring conversions, creating a productive conversation is seen as a crucial part of inspiring action. Now, the embedding climate actions, reframing the SDG to embed climate action in their target and indicator can exploit synergy between them and climatic actions, and rethinking policy priorities. Framing climate change as a planetary condition suggests different policy priorities that frame it solely as a national security issue method for the reframing. So methods, how we can do it? This is the questions that we have to answer. Shifting the starting point for analysis, we have to start with the analysis. Instead of starting with the national security, start with the planetary conditions of the climate changes, then linking to the tangible benefit, presenting the benefits of climate actions in a way that are easy to understand and immediate, such as improve public health and cleaner air, and using different social and political arena, critically considering how climate changes is framed in scientific, social, and political sphere for understanding and promoting the different narratives. So, quite frankly, there is no answer to climate change without substantial dramatically increasing the amount of renewable energy in the global energy system. This is a very great quote by the Christina. So conclusion is that reframing climate changes requires a shift from number of to narratives, from measuring carbon to measuring compassions. The true essence of substantiality lies not only in stabilizing the climate, but also in ensuring human welfare in harmony with the nature. By aligning health system with ecological ethics, we can build a future where clean energy, resilient agriculture, and holistic medical coexist. Homeopathy, with a deep respect for nature, nature's law, minimal ecological footprint, and holistic healing capacity, stands as a beacon for substantial healthcare in a climatic change world. Our collective vision must therefore transcend emergence target and embraces human flourishing, where every solution heal for the earth and its people. Climate and action and homeopathy together can pave the way of new paradigm, a planet not just for surviving the climate, but thriving through the harmony and health and hope. So these are the references that I have taken from the different for my study on preparation this slide. So climate change is happening and humans are causing it. And I think this is perhaps the most serious environmental issue facing by us. This is the Bill Nage message. And with this, I thank you very much for having my listening me. And we can discuss something more with this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sahani sir. Actually, it's a different. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening, sir.
Okay. Actually, it is a different subject. I think those who have question, please raise your hands and discuss with Sahani sir. If you have any queries, otherwise also you can discuss.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to add, it is, as you told Anjali, that it is a different subject. I don't see that it is a different subject. It has to be the part of our life. It has to be the part of our understanding.
Exactly.
Because as a clinicians, as a practitioners, as a homeopath, it is our duty for the community medicines also.
Yeah.
We are responsible for the community. Every homeopath practitioners, whether it is homeopath, whether it is allopath, they are also responsible. And as a homeopath, we are taught in the educational curriculum also there is a big topic of the community medicines. And this subject is very much related to the community medicines. And when we think about the community, it is essential that we must think about the climatic changes and what is the impact there. And in that impact, we are only concerned with the symptoms. No, we are not only concerned with the system. We are concerned with the how to manage and how to improve and how to provide our guidance to the government. And that was the issue raised by Bill Gates. He was not thinking in the term of homeopathy. He was thinking in the term of the other system of the medicines. But I try to incorporate with this and I try to include this topic because we have the better opportunity. We have the better, we can contribute in a better way because we are not looking into the physical health, but we are looking also in the emotional health. This is very important for the things, and we must have a serious understanding and talk with this area. And I see during every pandemic, and you must agree with me that in the COVID era, we all as a homeopathic practitioner, how we have helped the society. I think every homeopath must have contributed something to bring a change in the life. They have saved the life. Uh, they have treated the life. They have cured the patient at the much low cost without hospitalizations and without any support. And this is a record. This is a record which has been. We came first with the preventive medicines, which was still to be explored during the corona area. All the vaccines, it came later on. Before that, our arsenic was doing the wonderful job. So these things, we need to talk about it more and more and discuss in a more. I hope that some people can talk with this on this topic so that we can have a discussions. I
Dr.
left this topic very for more time for the discussions.
Dr. B.K. Sinha.
Dr. Sinha, you want to say something? Please share your thought. Anyone? I only wanted not to present this lecture. I wanted to have a discussions. That's why I limited for the 30 or 30, 40 minutes only presentations. Anyone? There are many people. Dr. Dhanesh, you are here.
Dhanesh is here.
He's the host.
But I think.
Why everyone is silent? Not understood me properly. Anyone should initiate?
Yeah. Dr. Ram Parvesh, sir, are you listening? Normally, he involved all the discussions. Dr. Mashood.
Anyway, we can add on more with this topic. What do we think about the present change of climate? Okay. What you feel about that? Your personal view about the climatic changes, Dr. Anjani.
Dr. Dhanesh came, he will talk now.
Sir, due to some personal affairs, I couldn't hear the session. That's why
Dr. Dhanesh, I can summarize you that my topic was the climatic changes and the geographical impact, and it is and the issue that was raised by the Bill Gates in his message some few months back, because he wanted to prepare and he wanted to raise the issue for the world, so that for the he was for the climatic changes summit that is going to be held in near future. So he wanted to that the opinions should come more and more. So we as a homeopath, what opinion we can give for the sustainable
Our
health
system is very
for the human
helpful
life.
Climate. Any climate changes, our medicine, our system is very helpful.
That's true, but
Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Shobha, please.
You speak well.
Please.
In our system, this climate changes very influenced in our in our human being and our എന്താ പറയുന്നേ all animals very helpful this system, these climate changes.
How it is helpful? Can you explain it?
It is our any change of climate affect in our body and in any living things more affected. That changes any discomfort come our medicine very useful that time.
Yeah, you are right that our medicines is very much useful for these conditions. One thing that I can add that the individuality talk that we think about talk about the homeopathy, being an individual and individual response to the nature is quite different. Someone we have the hot patients, we have the cold patients, we have the ambithermal patients, and they all respond to the nature in a different way and the changes in a different way. But what happens when it comes on the general, on the mass level, on the epidemic level, or on the pandemic level? What happens? The genus epidemicus was also thought of, and with that, because climatic changes is a inevitable
Specific
situations and ongoing problem.
specific immunity come from our medicine.
That is the things. Immunity, we can have the more and more immunity with our medicines, which can increase the immunity power of our medicines can help you to increase the immunity. But it is also required that we must have the understanding how to make it how to highlight with the work. My last part you must have heard that I wanted that every practitioner should get engaged and prepare a documented informations on how they treated the such situations and post it on the CCRH website so that it can be transmitted to, it can be sent to the global, to the summit also, and homeopathy also can be represented there.
Yes,
The
sir.
main thing is that how to get ourselves highlighted in this phenomenon. And see, during the COVID, we were highlighted, but we have not encashed that situations. Encasing
Exactly.
the situations is very important for us, and this will make the homeopathy popular, more and more popular.
Yes, sir. We all know that the climate is a natural problem, natural phenomena, and it comes and goes in exactly in correct time. But since the interference of this mankind, climate has now entirely different one from we used to say that we have uh, summer season, winter season, then rainy season, like that. But now, in a particular way, if we look at Kerala situation now, we have almost everything in all period. That's what happens. But that means climate was totally changing now. Because of that, the people's affections. For example, usually we have patients, more patients during summer and rainy season, but this time it was not like that. Now, at the arrival of winter, we have more acute diseases coming, but not only in Kerala, but also everywhere in India. I think the situation is changing.
Very rare. Very
Some people used to say that it is because of the
different.
infection of this COVID vaccine or COVID impact of this COVID. But I'm not agreeing that it is because of the interference of this as we know, Bill Gates is calling for this seminar. He is the person want to have such
No,
a
he is not calling. He
discussion.
is not calling.
Yes,
He is
yes.
drawing our attention to on this
Yes,
seminar.
yes, yes. We know that he was the person behind the COVID vaccine, and he at last people asked him why you people have given this much of COVID vaccine without testing,
Many
and
companies, many
making more people
right angle,
in
many
more
companies.
in more trouble. So what happened was that. He just ran away. So, if there is a scope for making such a thing, he would have been here to do something in a better way. But actually, we need to look into this thing in that way also. We people used to say that we have preventive measures in homeopathy for all this COVID and diseases. But nobody from the so-called modern world agrees that. But in practical, CCRH itself conducted the research, and it found out that it was it has very good result. But unfortunately, the world is not aware of these things. Still, nobody says that homeopathy has a very good preventive measure in this particular so-called disease COVID. So, what we need to do is that we will have to do things in a better way. As you rightly point out, we will have to do things in a better way, and we will have to give some scientific explanation as far as possible with the uh, homeopathic principles, giving more stress to homeopathic principle. That is, the individualization is the most important thing. And when a category of people used to affect a particular disease, we can have we can prophylactics for that also from homeopathic point of view. That need to be stressed, and that need to be taken to the people around the world, that why you are avoiding oil systems or the kind of things. But unfortunately, whenever there is such a summit happen, they are not inviting homeopathic people to that area. That's the reason. We need to say the world that homeopathy is the purified science, not simply science, the purified science that we can call. Because the thing is that our theories are not changing, but in almost all sciences, the theories are always changing. That whenever there is a change, they used to say it is that's what is science is all about. But homeopathic principles never changes, and if it changes the principles, then it will not be there. Then there will not be any scope for homeopathy. So we will have to stick on to our laws and fundamental points on which we will have to move forward. Am I right, sir?
You are right, but one thing, Dr. Danesh, I would like to add that sticking to the principle is okay. We have to, but making it adaptable, the same principle adaptable for the modern era. How this similia law can and the law of individualizations can survive in the present era. This is the greatest challenge that we have to do. What I see, the allopathic and other modern system of medicines, they have started and doing the same thing that we are doing. We talk about the individuality, and now the talk on the precision medicines is coming up. What is this precision medicines? Only only the homeopathic formula of individualizations, which when I was looking into the precision medicines, I find that it is simply what we homeopath. It is an individualized system of the medicine, taking care of each and every patient at the individual level, not on a collective way. Finding individual medicines for each persons, as we do in homeopathy, and this they are doing. They are looking into, but they are giving it their own terminology is getting different. And the day is not far that every things get incorporated, that included in the modern system of medicine. So there will be homeopathy will, and we when we keep on saying simply our hand tight, not to change, not to think about the adaptations, we cannot survive. This homeopathy will not survive for the long run. And what I see that they are changing, they are adaptable, they are doing it. And this is one of the biggest challenge that we have to face.
So that means that we will have to adapt to each and every situation accordingly.
Yeah,
But uh, but but
adaptation doesn't mean, sir,
then we will have to compromise our principles and laws.
no, 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 never, never, never. I don't talk about the compromising. I talk about making it, presenting it in a different way, so that it can be. In my last part of the lecture, you must have. I think you have not gone through it. The last part of the lecture, I talked about the modernizations of the homeopathy. Modernizations, how the similia can be explained, how the similia, the law of the similia, we can term it as a precision medicines.
Exactly.
Precision medicines. We can talk about the we can talk about the individual as a precision medicines, similia as the as the natural system. So some terminology should be defined and should be included. What I see in our homeopathic repertory, because I am going very much influenced with the changes in the modern repertory, like the synthesis. The new terminology has been included. The psychological, we are looking at the same old rubrics in the Kantian era. But in the synthesis rubrics, you will find the new rubrics added. And that is based on the psychological understanding. And psychology, we homeopath have better psychological understanding, but the things are being not utilized by the other until and unless I reframe our language. That is the reframing the language is very much important for us.
Yes, yes, we need to do such a work for our student, those people who are making syllabus for homeopathic students also. Then
Yeah, this
only,
is
otherwise
in the
they may think that the what we taught was not actually the right thing, and the right thing is not something different. But actually, we were exact 100% right. Hanuman was 100% right. And that's the reason why the so-called people are now saying that the precise medicine is the right one. So that is what individualization is all about, and that's what homeopathy is standing uh, on the on those legs. We used to say the whole foundation of homeopathy stands on our laws and all those things.
doctor. When we talk about the Hahnemann, he was a very adaptable person. You can see the organon of medicines, how many changes medicines is underwent. And each time he has changed his view. He has added on the new things. From first edition to the sixth last editions. This is the evolutionary history of the homeopathy. If you go into the details of the evolution of the organon of medicines, you can find that the Hahnemann has revised and corrected his view, which he was talking about the inner. He was not talking about the vital principle in the first edition, second edition. He started talking about the energy in the third editions. And then he started thinking about the principle in the fifth editions and the sixth edition. And for the medicinal quality and measurability, he has moved from centesimal to 50 millisimal to the 50 millisimal. Everywhere he is changing, he was changing. And his case history, if you go into the case history of Dr. Henneman, the first editions where he was using, and the last part of the case history, you can see lot of the changes he has adapted in his lifetime also.
Yes, sir. Just like as you pointed out, the climate change also, there can be changes in
Yeah.
everything and everywhere.
No,
Okay.
what
Thank you.
what is the what I
Thank
talk
you.
you what I used to talk that change is the constant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It keeps on going every time, and what we are surviving depends on how we are adapted to the change. This is the survival of the fittest. Have you
Yes.
heard about the Darwin's and Lamarck theory?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
And this is the survival of the fittest. We as a homeopath, if you want to survive, we have to get adapted and not changing our principle, not changing the law of the similia, not the changing the law of potentializations, not changing, but we have to adaptable. We have to adapt them in the new environment.
Thank you, sir. Now it is the
Have
time.
you, Dr. Anjani, you have heard of old wine in new bottle?
Yeah.
This is the theme of this presentations. Old
Yeah.
wine in new bottle.
Yeah, exactly. And now it is the time to hand over the session to Dr. P. Shaila. Thank you so much, Sahani sir. Always your words, your inspiration gives us strength. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you all the participants for being with us. And now I'm inviting Dr. P. Shaila for moderating this session. Thank you, Sahani sir, once again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you tomorrow, same time. Bye.